Neville Goddard, At Your Command, Chapter 5. I am the vine, and ye are the branches. Consciousness is the vine, and those qualities which you are now conscious of being are the branches that you feed and keep alive. Just as a branch has no life except it be rooted in the vine, so likewise things have no life except you be conscious of them. Just as a branch withers and dies, if the sap of the vine ceases to flow towards it, so does it mean in your world. Pass away if you take your attention away from them. Because your attention is the sap of the life that keeps things alive and sustains in your world. So to resolve a problem now that seems so real to you, you all need to do is remove your attention from it in spite of its seeming reality. Turn from it in your consciousness. Turn from it in your consciousness. That is, become indifferent and begin to feel yourself to be that which you would be the solution of the problem. For instance, if you are imprisoned, no man would have to tell you that you should desire the freedom. So freedom, or rather the desire of the freedom, would be automatic. So why look behind the four walls of the prison bar? Take your attention from being imprisoned and begin to feel yourself to be free. Feel. Fear to the point where it is natural. The very second you do so, those prison bars will dissolve and apply the same principle to any problem. I have seen many people who were in debt to their ears applied this principle, and in the twinkling of eyes, the depths were mountainous but were removed. I have also seen those whom doctors have given up as incurable take their attention away from their problem or the disease and begin to feel themselves as well, in spite of all the evidence of their senses to the contrary. So, in no time at all, the so-called incurable disease vanished, left no scar. Your answer to whom do you say that I am ever determines your expression. As long as you are conscious of being imprisoned or deceived or poor, so long will you continue to outpicture or express these qualities. When a man realized that he is now that he is seeking and begins to claim that he will have the proof of his claim. And if Q is given to you in the word, who speaks ye? And they answered Jesus. And the voice answered, I am he. Jesus means the salvation or the savior. And you're seeking to be salvaged from that which is not your problem. From that which is not your problem. I am is he that will save you. I am is he that will save you. For example, if you are hungry, your savior is food. If you are poor, your savior is riches. If you are imprisoned, your savior is freedom. If you're deceived, your freedom is, of course, health, being wealthy. It is not a man called Jesus who will save you, but the health will become your savior. And therefore claim, I am he. In other words, claim yourself to be the thing you desire and claim it in your consciousness, not in words. And consciousness will reward you with your claim. You are told, you shall find me when you feel after me. Well, feel after the quality in consciousness until you feel yourself to be it. When you lose yourself in the feeling of being it, the quality will embody itself in your world. You are healed from your problems when you touch the solution of it. And who has touched me? For I perceive virtue is gone out of me. Yes, the day you touch this being within you, healing yourself to be pure, to be healed, virtues will come out of your very self and solidify themselves in your world as healing. And it is said, you believe in God, believe also in me, for I am He. Have the faith of God. He made himself one with God and found it not robbery to do the works of God. Go you and do likewise. Yes, begin to believe your awareness, your consciousness of being to be the God. Claim yourself all that attributes that you have therefore given to some external God, and you will begin to express all these things. For I am not God afar off, and nearer than your hands and feet, nearer than your very breathing. I am your awareness of being. I am that I which all I shall ever be aware of being shall begin and end. For before the world I am, and when the world shall cease to be, I am. Before Abraham was I am. This I am is your awareness. Except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. The Lord being your consciousness, except that which you seek, it was established in your consciousness. You will labor in vain to find it. All things must begin and end in your consciousness. So blessed indeed is the man that trusts in himself, for man's faith in God will ever be measured by his confidence in himself. You believe in God, believe also in me. Put not your trust in men for men, but reflect that being that you are, and can only bring to you and do unto you that which you have first done unto yourself. No man take it away from my life. I lay down myself. I have the power to lay down and power to take it up again. No man, what happens to man in this world, it is never an accident. It occurs under the guidance of exact and changeless law. No man, that is manifestation, comes unto me except the Father within me draw him. And I and my Father are one. Believe this truth and you will be free. Man has always blamed others for that which he is and will continue to do so until he finds himself the cause for all. I am comes not to destroy but to fulfill. I am the awareness within you destroys nothing but ever fulfills the molds or the conceptions one has of oneself. And it is impossible for poor man to find wealth in this world. No matter how he is surrounded by until he first claims himself to be wealthy. For signs follow, they do not proceed to constantly kick and complain against the limitation of poverty while remaining poor in your consciousness. To constantly kick and complain against the limitations of poverty while remaining poor in your consciousness is to play the fool's game. Changes cannot take place from the level of consciousness for life in constantly outpicturing all the levels. Follow the example of prodigal son. Realize that you yourself brought about this condition of wealth and lack, and make the decision within yourself to rise to higher levels, where the fatter scarf, the ring, and the robe await your claim. Chapter 6. There was no condemnation of prodigal when he had the courage to claim this inheritance as his own. Others will condemn us only as long as we continue in that for which we condemn ourselves. So, happy is the man that condemns himself, not in which he allowed. For the life, nothing is condemned, all is expressed. Life does not take care whether you call yourself rich or poor, strong or weak. It will eternally reward you with that which you claim as true of yourself. The measurements of right or wrong belong to man alone. To life, there is nothing right or wrong. As Paul stated in his letter to the Romans, I know and am persuaded by the Lord Jesus that there is nothing unclean of itself, but to him that esteems anything to be unclean, to him it is unclean. Stop asking yourself whether you're worthy or unworthy to receive that which you desire. You as a man did not create the desire. Your desires are ever passionate within you because what you now claim yourself to be. When a man is hungry, without thinking he automatically desires. When imprisoned, automatically desires freedom and so forth. Your desires contain within themselves the plan of self-expression. To leave all your judgments out of the picture and rise in consciousness to the level of your desire and make yourself one with it by claiming it to be so now, now, by claiming it to be so now. For my grace is sufficient for thee. My strength is made perfect in weakness. Have faith in its unseen claim until the conviction is born within you that is so. Your confidence in this claim will pay great reward. Just a little while and he, the thing desired, will come. But without faith, it is impossible to realize anything. Through faith, the worlds were framed, because faith is the substance of the thing hoped for. Faith is the substance of the thing hoped for, the evidence of the thing not yet seen. So do not be anxious or concerned as to results. Do not be ever anxious about the results. They will follow just as surely as the day follows night. Look upon your desires, all of them, as the spoken words of God. And every word or the desire is a promise. The reason most of us fail to realize our desire is because we are constantly conditioning them. Do not condition your desire. Just accept it as it comes to you. Give thanks for it to the point that you are grateful for having it already received it. And then go about your way in peace. Such acceptance of your desire is like dropping seed, a fertile seed, into a very prepared soil. So when you can drop the thing desired in the consciousness, confident that it shall appear, you have done all that is expected from you. But to be worried or to be always concerned about how of the desire maturing is to hold these fertile seeds in the mental grasp and therefore never to be dropped them into the soil of the confidence. And the reason men condition their desire is because they constantly judge after the appearance of being and see things as real, forgetting that the only reality is the consciousness back of them. To see things as real is to deny that all things are possible to God. All man who is imprisoned sees his four walls as real is automatically denying the earth or promise of God within himself for his freedom. So, a question often asked when the statement is made, if one's desire is a gift of God, how can you say that if one's desires are to kill a man, is such a desire good or therefore God sent? In answer to this, let me say that no man desires to kill another. What he does desire is to be freed from such one. But because he does not believe in that the desire to be free from such one contains within itself that the power of freedom, he conditions that the desire and sees the only way to express such freedom is to destroy the other man, forgetting that the life wrapped within the desire has ways that he as a man knows not of. So its way are past finding out. Thus a man destroys the gift of God by his lack of faithfulness. The problems are the mountains spoken of that can be removed if one has but faith of gain of mustard seed. Men approach the problem as did the old lady who, on attending the services and hearing the priest say, if you had a faith of a grain of a mustard seed, you would say unto yonder mountain to be though removed, and it shall be removed, and nothing is impossible to you. Nothing is impossible to you. And the night she said her prayers, she quoted this part of the scriptures and retired to the bed in what she thought was peace. And on arising in the morning, she rushed to the window and exclaimed, I knew that old mountain would still be there. For this is how man approaches his problems. He knows that they are still going to confront him. And because life is no respecter of persons and destroys nothing, it continues to keep alive that which he is conscious of being. Things will disappear only as man changes in the consciousness. Deny it if you will, it still remains a fact that your consciousness is the only reality and things but mirror that which you are in the consciousness. So, the heavenly state you are seeking will be found only in the consciousness, for the kingdom of heaven is within you. As the will of heaven is ever done on the earth, you are today living in the heaven that you have established within yourself. For here on this very earth, your heaven reveals itself. The kingdom of heaven really is at hand. Now is the accepted time to create a new heaven, enter into a new state of consciousness, and a new earth will appear. The former things shall pass away. They shall not be remembered. They shall not be remembered, not come into your mind anymore. For behold, I, your consciousness, come quickly, and my reward is with me. I am nameless, but will take upon myself every name or the nature that you call me. Remember, it is you, yourself, that speak of as me. So every conception that you have of yourself, that is every deep conviction you have of yourself, is that which you shall appear as being. For I am not fooled. God is not mocked. Now let me instruct you in the art of fishing. It is recorded that this fool fished all night and caught nothing. Then Jesus came upon the scene and told them to cast the net in once more into the same waters that only a moment before were back, and this time their nets were bursting with the catch. The story is taking place in the world today, right within you, the reader, the hearer of my video. For you have within you all elements necessary for fishing. But until you find the Jesus Christ, that is your awareness, which is Lord, you will fish as did these disciples in the night of human darkness. That is, you will fish for the things, thinking things to be real, will fish with the human being, which is a struggle and effort trying to make contact with this one and that one, trying to cause this pain or the other pain, and all such effort will be in vain. But when you discover all your awareness of being to be Christ Jesus, you will let Him direct your fish, and you will fish in consciousness for the things that you desire. So your desire will be the fish that you will catch, because your consciousness is the only living reality. You will fish in the deep waters of your consciousness. And if you would catch that which is beyond your present capacity, you must launch onto deeper water, or within your present consciousness. Such fish or such desire cannot swim. So to launch out into the deeper water, you leave behind all that is now, your present problems, your present limitations, by taking your attention away from it. Turn your back completely upon every problem, upon every limitation, that you possess now. Dwell upon just being by saying I am to yourself. Continue to declare to yourself that you just are. Do not condition this declaration. Just continue to feel yourself to be. And without warning you, you will find yourself slipping in the anchor that tied you to the shallow of your problem and moving out into the deep. And this is usually accompanied with a feeling of expansion. So you will feel yourself expand as though you were actually growing. And do not be afraid, for the courage is necessary. You are not going to die to anything by your former limitations, but they are going to die as you move away from them, for they live only in your consciousness. In this deep or expanded consciousness, you will find yourself to be a power that you had never dreamed of before. And the thing desired before showed off from the shores of limitations are the fish you are going to catch in this deep, because you have lost all consciousness of your problems, of your barriers. It is now the easiest thing in the world to feel yourself, to be one with the things desired, because you have lost all the consciousness. Consciousness of what? Consciousness of all your problems, all your limitations. Lose all that consciousness. Then it will become very easy for you to feel one with your desire. Because I am, your consciousness, is the resurrection and the life. And you must attach this resurrecting power that you are to the same desire if you would make it appear and live in your world. Now you begin to assume the nature of the thing desired by feeling it. For example, I am wealthy, I am rich, I am free, I am strong. For my viewers on this channel, you can also start feeling about I am married. These two, three lines are my addition. So what Neville says, let us go back to that original book. Now you begin to assume the nature of the thing desired by feeling it, that I am wealthy, I am free, I am strong. And when these feels are fixed within yourself, your formless being will take upon itself the forms of all the things you felt. You become crucified upon the feelings of wealth, freedom, strength, state of being married. Remain buried in the stillness of these convictions, and then as a thief in the night, and when you least expect it, these qualities will be resurrected in your world as living realities, and the world shall touch you and feel that you are flesh and blood, for you shall begin to bear the fruit of nature of all these qualities newly appropriated. And this is the art of successful fishing for the manifestation of life. The successful realization of the things desired is also told in the story of Daniel in the lion's den. Here it is recorded that Daniel, while in the lion's den, turned his back upon the lions and looked towards the light coming from above. But the lions remained powerless, and Daniel's faith on God saved him. So, this is also the story that you too must do as Daniel did. If you found yourself in the lion's den, you would have no other concern but the lion. And you would not be thinking of one thing in the world but your problem. Which problem would be the lion? Yet, you are told that the Daniel turned his back upon them and looked towards the light that was his God. If we would follow this example of Daniel, we would, while in prison, within the den of poverty, of sickness, take our attention away from our problem of death or the sickness and dwell upon the thing that we seek. And if we do not look back in the consciousness of our problem, if we do not look back in the consciousness to our problem, but continue to have faith, believing ourselves to be that which we seek, we too will find our prison wall opening up and the things sought. Yes, whatsoever are the things realized. Another story is also here that is telling us of a widow and the 3 drops of oil. So the prophet asked the widow that would have ye in your house, and she replied, I'm sorry, the prophet asked the widow, what would you be having in your house? Okay. And she replied, the 3 drops of oil. He then said to her, go borrow vessels, close the door after you have returned into your house and begin to pour. And she poured from the 3 drops of oil into all the borrowed vessels and filling them to the capacity of the oil remaining. So you the readers and you the listeners of my channel, of my audio, you all are this person and you have not found a husband to impregnate you or um, make you fruitful. For a widow is a barren seed. So your awareness is now the Lord or the prophet that has become your husband. So follow the example of this story, who instead of recognizing an emptiness or nothingness, recognizes something with 3 drops of oil. And then the command goes to her that go within, close the door. That is, shut the door of all your senses that are telling you about emptiness, that are telling you about your depth, that are telling you about your present problems. Shut the door of all these problems, all these senses that are telling you, making you aware about your problems. When you have taken your attention completely away by shutting out the every evidence of your senses, begin to feel the joy, sympathized by oil in the story, of having received the things that you desire. And when the agreement is established between you, so that all your doubts, all the fears have passed away, then you too will find all the empty pages of your life and all the ill have abundance running over. So recognition is the power that conjures in this world. Every state that you have ever recognized have embodied in your life. That which you are recognizing as true of yourself today is that which you are experiencing today. So be as a widow and you are recognizing the joy no matter how little the beginning of this recognition. And you will be generously rewarded. For the world is a magnified mirror and magnifying each and everything that you are conscious of. So I am the Lord of God. I am, which has brought the out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other God before me. What a glorious revelation your awareness now revealed as Lord the God. Come awake from your dream of being imprisoned and realize that the earth is yours and the fullness thereof, the world and all that dwells therein. You have become so enmeshed in this belief that you are a man that you have forgotten the glorious being that you are. And now, with your memory restored, decree the unseen to appear, and it shall appear, for all things are compelled to respond to the voice of God, your awareness of being. The world is at your command. End of the chapter 6, the end of this beautiful book by Neville.